Lesson 23. Meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, a day, morning, evening. People generally eat 3 meals a day, which we call breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We generally have breakfast at about 8 o'clock in the morning, lunch at about 1 o'clock, and dinner at about 8 o'clock in the evening. Tell me the names of the 3 meals that people generally eat a day.
The names of the 3 meals that people generally eat a day are breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What time do you have your breakfast?
I have my breakfast at 8 o'clock.
What time do you have your lunch?
I have my lunch at 1 o'clock.
What time does your dinner begin?
My dinner begins at 8 o'clock.
What time does your dinner end?
My dinner ends at 9 o'clock.
How long does her dinner last?
Her dinner lasts 1 hour.
Knife, fork. What do we use to eat with?
We use a knife and fork to eat with.
Many, more than, the most. Few, fewer than, the fewest. Much, more than, the most. Little, less than, the least. Exception, quantity, singular. Many and much have the same meaning, but we use many with things we can count. For example, we can count pens, 1 pen, 2 pens, 3 pens, etc. We can count books, chairs, etc. Generally, the things we can count take an S in the plural. People is an exception. It has no S, but we use many with it. Much, on the other hand, we use with things we cannot count. For example, we cannot count water or sugar. We cannot say 1 water, 2 waters, 1 sugar, 2 sugars, etc. These things are a singular quantity and take no S. Money is no exception. We can count money, but we do not say 1 money, 2 monies. We say 1 pound, 2 pounds, 1 franc, 2 francs, etc. What's the difference between many and much?
The difference between many and much is that we use many with things we can count and much with things we can't count.
Give me a sentence with many in it, please.
There are many cars in a large...
11. What's the difference between many and few and much and little? And give me an example of each.
The difference between many and few and much and little is that we use many and few for things we can count, whilst much and little we use for things we can't count. For example, many books, much water, few pens, little wine.